Welcome, everybody, to Kerrigan and Company. So good to have you with us for this episode. And we have got a terrific show with three fabulous guests. Now, keeping me company today is someone who has more television shows than I can count on one hand. She also has that many restaurants, so I can't keep up with that either. It is great to have celebrity chef with me, Tiffani Faison. It's good to see you.
Oh, my goodness. It's so good to see you. We were just talking. It's been a minute since we've seen each other.
I know. Absolutely. You know, in fact, I was thinking about it. When did you open Sweet Cheeks?
2011.
Okay, so I think that I interviewed you as you were opening that.
Probably.
And that may have been one of the last
Not
times.
Since?
Can you imagine?
No.
I mean, I think somewhere along the line.
We stay in each other's consciousness. Like, that's
100%.
real. Like, we live in the city, and I watch the show. And so, I feel like I've seen you, but wild. And then, pre-COVID, post-COVID, I don't know who I
was just going to say, we lost about 4 years that nobody knows exactly who we saw or why we saw them.
In the void.
Yeah, it is. It's
totally
all
in the void.
Yeah. Sweet Cheeks, wow, it continues to just do gangbusters.
We're doing okay. It's been so interesting. Like, the Fenway neighborhood has kind of gone up and down around, it was like really on the upswing before the pandemic. And now it's, I think we're starting to settle back in a little bit. So Sweet Cheeks has been able to weather all of that, which is great. So we're
good barbecue. And Southern cooking, I mean, it survives anything.
Yeah, thank you. We work really hard on it being consistent and providing great service. It's been 14 years now. Wild.
That's almost unheard of, too.
Yes.
I mean, I'm telling
rare.
someone who knows that.
It's rare. So,
it really is.
And, Sweet Cheeks being my first restaurant that I own, I think it spoiled me a little bit that I was like, oh, they're all going to be like this. And, success in restaurants, Danny Meyer tends to say, like, it's about 7 or 8 years is the arc of a restaurant.
Sure.
So it's interesting.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We've doubled that.
I love that it's over there in Fenway, and you're right. Fenway has that neighborhood does kind of ebb and flow, but it feels like to me right now it's really strong, and that it's come back, and it's a really great spot.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that we have Fenway Park there is huge, right? Like, that's never going to change. There's been an artist community that's been in Fenway for years, and that continues to thrive around us. There's been developments that have obviously continued to have the neighborhood rise. The MGM Music Hall at Fenway is fabulous. It's so great, and it's not just music. They do a ton of stuff. I was just there for the State of the City with the mayor, and that was extraordinary. It provides a lot of magnetism to the neighborhood. There's a lot of reasons to come by. There's a lot of students that live in the area, a lot of doctors that are working just down the street at Longwood. So it's a really dynamic neighborhood in that way.
It is. Yeah. It really is.
It's cool.
And Sweet Cheeks isn't your only restaurant there.
Nope. I have Fool's Errand there as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Now, I have to be honest with you. I have never been in there.
Come on in.
I'm coming.
Yes.
Tell everybody about that restaurant, though, because this is a really cool concept.
It's a small bar. It's a tiny craft cocktail bar, and we feature wines. We have little snacks that we have in there. The first 2 years, it was really modeled after a European wine bar where everyone stands up and it's really convivial and it's loud and fun. I knew that would be a hard sell. On the weekends, it wasn't. We had a great crowd. It's hard to get people in Boston to stand up from Monday to Thursday after they've had a week of working. So, and it's funny, we joked about it. It's well, they'll do it in Europe. And it's they're in Europe. It's a different vibe. So, we put stools in it, and it's really comfortable, beautiful space. Yeah. It's really fun and intimate. So it's great.
I have to tell you, I don't know why I haven't been in to the bar, because that is my kind of place. Yeah. And I would stand, by the way. So when I come, I'm just going to pull my seat out, if you don't mind.
Exactly.
And everyone will think I'm sitting because I'm so short.
We are the same height, so it's exactly that. I can sit or stand. It doesn't matter. I'm going to show up the same.
So as I introduced you, and I mean, you were this young woman who has no, you're still this young woman who. All right, so Tiff, we've talked about two. You actually, I know you have. Do you have 2 or 3 over at the new?
2 in the Fenway. Oh, I'm sorry, at High Street Place.
High Street Place,
technically 4.
Oh,
so I have Bubble Bath.
I'm so sorry.
It's been really great for us. So we've been able to grow brands in that space. And it's been a really great incubator. So we have Bubble Bath. It's a champagne-focused wine bar. We do hot dogs and popcorn there. It's sort of, grower champagne and really beautiful wines, and then we kind of don't take ourselves too seriously with the hot dog and popcorn.
It's great fun.
Yeah. And then we have tenderonis, which is pizza and subs like grinders. That's in the corner. We have dive bar that we've turned into a kiosk, which is an oyster bar, lobster rolls, chowder. And then we have our concept that we introduced this past or last year, Charming Gardener, that's more salads and grains and bowl focused. Yeah.
Yeah. So, it's so good.
Thank you.
It's so good. Yeah. How do you keep your head on straight?
I have a great team. Yeah. I have a great team. Like, you can't do this alone.
Well, yeah. I hear a lot of chefs say that. How many people are on the team, do you think?
The people that have been on the core of the team, so the team is larger, right? We're probably 160 all in terms of our employees, but that's a lot of like part-time employees, people that come and go. We've had some people, I've had servers that have been with me almost since day one at Sweet Cheeks. But my core team, there's like 5 of us, and Dan's been with me for 15 years. Yeah. And then the newest members have been with me for like 7.5.
Wow, that's terrific.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, that means you're a wonderful person to work with.
That means we work together well, all of us. So yeah, it's collaborative.
That's fantastic. What I think is really interesting is that you have had this incredible success, and you're very young, and yet you don't seem to be migrating outside of the Boston area. A lot of chefs very early on say, it's really great to have Boston, but I got to get to DC.
Sure.
I got to get to Chicago.
Yeah.
What's your take on that?
I mean, I think there are always opportunities to look at. I can't say that it'll just be Boston forever. The city's been extraordinary to me. I'm not from here, but it feels like I'm from here at this point. I've been here for over 20 years. It's so interesting. I remember having a conversation with a chef out of Dallas years ago. We were at the Derby, Kent Rathburn, and he said, I'll never get when chefs like build themselves in a city and then leave it. And that resonated with me, and it stayed with me. So, yeah, there will be other opportunities. I also think it's really easy to chase shiny objects when you're young. It's easy to get distracted.
Absolutely.
And it's a hard business, so I feel really grateful to have what we have in the city. We talk about other cities sometimes. I don't know them as intimately. Like, you can study, you can do demographic studies, but there is something about knowing a city that you live in every day,
100%.
Yeah, you understand a heartbeat that you don't necessarily get in other cities.
You said it. I thought it might be a good idea to have people stand, and then I realized that Bostonians don't want to stand Monday through Thursday.
Sure.
I mean, you figured that out because you live here.
And flexibility, I think, is just like that's part and parcel to running businesses always. Like we say this about restaurants, and no matter what city we end up being in, I think this is key. Especially when you're young, you get really stuck on an idea of something. It's like a little dog with a bone. I don't have children, but I've always said, like, I think having restaurants must be like having children. You have all the things that you want for them, right? But they're going to show you what they need to be. Yeah. And if you fight that or you get in the way of them, you're going to set up a contentious relationship with your restaurant that's not going to work. So, yeah, you have
somebody's going to fail one way or the other.
Yeah, you have to. Absolutely. I mean, it still needs to be, yours and conceptually what you want it to be, but you have to be open to, a really windy road for as long as you want to be on it.
Your ability to take restaurants outside of the city, though, is growing and growing and growing because your visibility has grown incredibly. I mean, I think there's some really great chefs who have restaurants in this city, but nobody knows them outside of here. Yeah. That is not the case for you, thanks to television. So let's talk a little bit about TV.
Sure. It's been a ride.
A little something I know about. People get on a show or they get on 2 shows. You are popping up over and over again on some really successful shows, obviously in your wheelhouse, all of them being cooking. But it's amazing, Tiff. So where did this start? How did you do this?
I don't know that I did. It started long ago. I was on the first season of Top Chef. Like, you guys had Tom on a while ago. And that was, it's wild. That was almost 20 years ago.
But really?
It was 20 years ago. Yeah. It was 2005 when we shot Top Chef. So
you were a contestant.
I was a contestant on the very first season. So no secret. I think I've been really public about how hard that was on me. They didn't know what the show was. The editing was really tough. I didn't help the situation. We didn't understand chefs back then. Sure. We certainly didn't understand women. We therefore really didn't understand female chefs, and there wasn't space for that. So it was tough, and I took a huge step back. I went on All Stars years later, but it was like I sort of reeled from it a little bit. So I thought, And I had, people in my life that were saying like, I don't think TV's for you, which is like, maybe not something, that I don't know if someone gets to say for you necessarily. And I believed that. I believed that for a while, that it was really tough and there wasn't maybe, the road for me. And that was fine. I had never really considered it being that big of a part of my life. Happy to run the restaurants, happy to just, cook and do my thing. That's, TV was never the goal.
Sure.
So I ended up, it's the strangest story. Chopped reached out to have me compete on like their grill tournament. And they'd reached out for like 2 or 3 years in a row, and I wasn't really interested.
Was this a result of Sweet Cheeks?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And I just said, like, I don't know, I've competed before, and I just didn't want to do it. I didn't want to go back into like, the mouth of the lion, essentially. And then I
had just gotten over it.
I know, kind of. That was really, honestly, a huge part of it.
Right. I understand that.
Yeah. And I got to a place where, it was like, okay, well, we could use a little bit of like, visibility in the world. Let's go do this. It's not going to be the end of the world. So I ended up doing a screen test for them. And it was wild because they had chased me for like 2 or 3 years to do the show. And then once I said yes, I had to audition to compete, which is fine. It's fine. I just didn't expect it. And they came back and said, thanks, but no thanks. We're not interested.
Really?
Oh, yeah. And you want to talk about like, take my toys and go home. I was like, I am done with TV. I don't want this anymore. So, I felt really hurt by it.
Yeah, I
was
bet
like,
you did.
Well, why did you chase me so hard?
Right.
Now I understand that it's really like usually casting people that are in their 20s and everyone's reaching out. They don't, whatever. They got back to me in a couple of weeks and said, we'd like you to judge. I thought, okay, ego was a little less bruised. So I went and I didn't know what to expect. And it was with Scott Conant and Mark Murphy. It was out at like the Queens County Farm Museum. It was freezing. And I just didn't know what to expect. And I had the best time.
There you go.
I always walk away from situations thinking I'm very much like, I should have done this or that would have been better. Very critical in that way. I've worked on getting better around it. But I walked away from that day. I remember the back of my head hurt from smiling so much. And I had just had the best time. And I kind of felt like I left it all on the field.
Awesome.
Didn't expect anything. And they just kept calling me to guest judge. Eventually they gave me the job as a regular judge. They weren't looking for one. And then that led to Tournament of Champions and Beat Bobby Flay and Triple G, Wild Card. Yeah, so it just became a snowball. Yeah, it's been really fun.
Tell me, I mean, I know what I think, but what do you think is the X factor that makes them all keep coming back to you?
Oh, it's impossible to ask someone that. I don't know. I mean, I think knowledge of food, I'd like to think that.
Yes.
Ability to be honest to be tough without being cruel.
Right.
And to be honest. I'd like to think I'm hilarious. Like my girlfriend doesn't think I'm that funny, but I think I'm pretty funny sometimes. I don't know. I don't know what it necessarily is. I mean, I really enjoy it and I like engaging.
I think you're an excellent communicator.
Oh.
And I think that's part of what they're very much attracts you. I think you're right. I think it's your incredible ability to convey to someone in a very nice, gentle way that what they've done is maybe incorrect and give them some suggestions on how to make it better. But I think you're an excellent communicator. You're articulate. And when sometimes when I watch others, I feel like I want to go, come on, get to it. You don't do that, immediately I know what your X factor is. And
Shout out to my college debate coaches.
There you go.
Yeah, truly.
It's so great. Listen, we've got a great show today. We got lots to talk about.
I'm so excited.
We'll circle back, talk about some more of the goals for the future.
Yep.
You have a full-on company.
Yes.
It's not just you and your team.
Correct.
There's a full-on company there. And so we're going to talk a little bit more about all of that. So good to have you here.
So great
so
to
glad
be
you're
here.
here.
I know. It's
so
nice
listen, coming up on the show here, our next guest, he goes by the name Slaine. He is a hip-hopper.
I know.
And a rapper.
Yep.
He's an actor. I don't know if you've seen some of his clips,
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Been in some of the biggest
Come on
movies that have ever been made here in the Boston area, and he's about to be in some really big movies as well.
Truly.
And he's really, really good. And he's just opened an incredible facility here in Boston to help a whole lot of people. So he is coming up.
So
we'll take a quick break. We'll let the sponsors help us out, and Tiffany and I will be here right on the other side. This is Kerrigan and Company.